Hello beautiful, welcome back to That's Beautiful Life. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my April wrap up and a little bit of a May TBR. If you're new to this channel, hello, my name is Natasha. I do videos on books, bullet journaling, art journaling, media, whatever I want to do a video about because hey, why not? I would love it if you would click the like button. If you like this video, you like me, want to see more, be sure to subscribe and yeah. Click the little notification bell if you like to do that sort of thing. I typically post every Friday. I did miss last Friday because I had to work a whole lot of extra hours last week because we are short-staffed and everybody is right now, but whatever. I try to post every Friday, and then sometimes during the week there's one that pops up here and there, so the little notification bell will help you see when that happens. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to the video. There are some books that I'm going to talk about that I have already talked about in a previous video at length, so I won't go at length in those, but I'll make sure those videos are linked down below for you so you can check them out. Alright, checking out my bullet journal for April. I'm at March and then it keeps slipping to May. Here we go. All right. So the first book that I read, and this will be in my mid-month wrap-up kind of thing. I'll put it in the cards and down below. The 100-Year-Old Man Who The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared by Jonas Johansson. This is a translated book from Swedish and it's hilarious. I did the audiobook. Wonderful narrator, good time. I really enjoyed this book, laughed a lot. Be sure to check out that video if you want to be a little bit more in depth with it. The next one was When We Left Cuba by Chanel Clayton. This is book 2 in the Cuba saga, historical fiction. You don't have to read them in order, however, there are things that spoil the first one in this one, whatever. I like the stories in these books. I find the writing a little lazy. If you want to know more about that, be sure to check out that mid-month wrap-up as well as my my March wrap-up, because I really go into this writing. But yeah, I really have enjoyed the stories with this. I don't know if I will continue, but if it does pop up like free on script or something and I need a book to read, I'm in the mood for something like that, I'm not saying I won't read the books, but I'm not like jumping at the bit to go get more. The next book, The Reader's Room by I think it's Anthony Lorraine, it might be Antoine Lorraine. This one's also mentioned in that mid-month wrap-up. This is translated from French. I really enjoyed this. It's a mystery, and it's one of those things where nobody had to be dumbed down, and it actually has a, like, you're wondering what's going on and you're trying to guess what's going on, and other things ensue. So I do recommend that book a lot. If you like mysteries and you want to try a translated work, that's a really easy one to start with. The next one was Fuzz, When Nature Breaks the Law by Mary Roach. This was our book club book of the month for April. I really enjoyed this one. I have a whole video dedicated to this particular book, so I won't talk too much about it, but I really enjoyed the information. The writing is dry, super dry. I'm talking Sahara dry, but she has a very interesting sense of humor. It's very, without saying dry, but it's very like, dorky, nerdy kind of sense of humor, which I thought was fun, but she knows it. That's the thing, is she knows she has that kind of sense of humor. So that's kind of throughout the book. So it's like an interesting textbook. But I really, like I said, enjoyed that. Great information. Okay, so moving on to books that I haven't talked about yet. The next one is The Nature of Fragile Things by Susan Messner. I did the audiobook for this. I was walking into my local bookstore and I think I was waiting on a table at like the restaurant next door, and I walked into my local bookstore and I just kind of saw this book, and the blurb on it, it's a new release, just kind of hooked me, and I was like, that sounds like a good time. Absolutely got to go download this so that I can check, you know, read that, listen to that while I'm at work. Really great story. So we have this is the one, right? Yeah, so this is where we have a for lack of a better term, a mail order bride. So we are, of course, historical fiction again in the early 1900s. So it's an Irish immigrant who lives in New York. She answers an ad, moves to San Francisco to marry a gentleman who wants, basically, who's a widow, and he wants a wife and mother for his daughter. And so she answers the ad and just is his wife. But they don't come together or anything until she's like, I want to be sure that we have affection for each other before we are together physically and all of that stuff. So she really was just filling the other roles of wife and mother, and he was gone a lot on business, and then turns out he is not as squeaky clean as he said he was, and there's some stuff. It happens around the time of the Great San Francisco earthquake, and very interesting book. Lots of great characters that you root for and that you fall in love with. She absolutely falls in love with the daughter. She's always wanted to be a mother. It's a very heartwarming story with a really good mystery in it. So I highly recommend this book. I think I give it 4 stars, maybe 3. I don't know, 3 or 4 stars. But really great historical fiction. You do learn a little something about, you know, the earthquake and all of that stuff. But yeah, I totally recommend that one if you like historical fiction. Good time, great narrator. The next one was The Secret of the India Orchid. The Secret of the India Orchid by Nancy Campbell. Nancy Campbell Allen, excuse me. This is an audiobook that I listened to. Great narrator, by the way. This is historical fiction, spy, mystery novel. And it also falls under the category of, it's on the cover, and I didn't know anything about this. It's called a proper romance. I don't like romance. I read the blurb because it was like one of the free things on the Premium Plus thing on Audible. And I was like, oh, that looks good, because it was a mystery type thing in, you know, a different era. And I'm in the mood for the historical fiction, so you can tell. So anyway, there's a man and he falls in love with his best friend's sister, and he's going to ask her to court him and marry him, or ask, you know, the brother for permission, blah blah blah. Again, early 1900s. And when he's about to do that, he's called back into the service of the crown and to be a spy. There's a list of spies and all the people and their families and all the stuff going around, and his name's on it, and to save everyone's life and to save this, you know, all the other people and the families and the other spies out there working, he's tasked to go find this list. And he winds up in India 2 years later searching for this list, and then she also goes to India with some friends to vacation or whatever. And they wind up meeting and stuff. This book hit all the right things for me. Again, I am not a romance reader. I don't like romance, but I don't mind a love story in the book. And there is a lot about the love story, but there's so much more going on in the book that it doesn't distract. You know what I mean? So you're hitting all the right things. Like, you have the mystery, you have the intrigue, you have high stakes, you have, you know, there's one thing in a book that drives me insane, and that is when, like, if you would have just told somebody something, or the truth, or told them this, then it would have all worked out. And, you know, I find myself at a moment reading this going, if he would just tell her, you know, A, B, C, then everything would be fine. And he actually does. And it's great. And again, this was a, I think the proper romance means it's like a clean romance, so it's not like smut kind of stuff going on. So I appreciated that, because I do not like smut in my books. Just me. But this was a really good book. If you would like to check out more of these type of romance books, I found that on Goodreads, if you put in a proper romance, then they'll pop up. They're not all by the same author. They're just like a part of this series. I think I'm gonna like kind of look into it more so I can let you guys know what it actually is in case you guys are interested in something like that. But I really enjoyed that book and I highly, highly recommend. Okay, so that's what we've got going for April. That's all the books I read in April that I finished. I am working on some more. So let's talk about May. What I want to do in May. First of all, the book club book of the month for May is The Four Winds by Kristin Hannah. I believe this is, well, this was the book of the year for book of the month for 2021. So I think I got this for free from book of the month, which was a good time. She's chunky but not too bad. And I've never read a Kristin Hannah before, and I'm looking forward to it because I know that people really enjoy her. I think this takes place during the Dust Bowl, or in the area of the Dust Bowl. Yeah, or dust storms were happening in the Great Plains. So this is Texas 1821, and I'm looking forward to this. Again, I'm in a historical fiction mood, so good times. Oh, I want to finish this book, The Secret She Keeps by Deb Caletti. This is a library book. That's why it's beat up. I really like Deb Caletti books. She wrote one of my favorite books of all time, which is A Heart and a Body in the World. And everything I picked up by her since has been good, but like it's not great. It's a good 3-star. I enjoyed the book, all of that. That's kind of how this is going. This is a dual timeline where you're in the present and then there's a mystery in the past. And it keeps moving along, but it's at the point where like, get to the mystery, get what's happening. And as per usual, you know how it is with me. If there's a dual timeline, I'm always gonna like the historical part better, but it's more like old Hollywood type historical thing. So that's interesting. I want to get to the mystery so we can find out what happened. Okay, so that, and then I want to do another Deb Caletti book because the blurb for this book and some of the other books are like, author of He's Gone. So Deb Caletti writes YA and also adult. This is one of her adults. So He's Gone. I want to do the audiobook of that. It's free on Scribd, so I'll grab that and listen to that while at work. But I'm not even sure exactly what all that's about. I just know that it's like blurb everywhere that I look up Deb Caletti anything. So might as well check it out. And I think I might do a video on like Deb Caletti books because she has quite a few. They're easy reads. I like her writing. I like her stories, and they're not all the same. So that's cool. All right. The other one is this one, Book of Night by Holly Black. Got my pre-order in. Is this signed? I think this one might be signed. I could be making that up. Let's see. Are we signed? I don't know. Oh wait, nope, it's not signed. Okay, well whatever. It's my pre-order. It's not very big, so hopefully I'll get through it pretty quickly. And it's a, I think it's like an urban fantasy, something like that. So, yeah. Don't know what else there is about it, but I think there's like an urban world that has magic in it, and then stuff happens. Again, haven't read the book yet, so don't know. And it's really pretty without the dust cover too. So that one. And then for my last trick, I would like to read at least one book of the month book. You know how if you have book of the month, you know sometimes they build up, especially if you're a fast reader. So I've got two that are kind of on my radar for this. One is the Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. This was the March book of the month, and this looks like there's a girl whose father, they were like cartographers, and she was helping him and learning from him, and then he finds she finds a map or something, and he doesn't want her looking at it, and he fires her and all that stuff. And then later, apparently that's a big deal. So that sounds interesting. And then the other one that I'm kind of looking up is by Adriana Trigiani, The Good Left Undone. This takes place around World War II or before World War II. There one. And I feel like I have another one that's like around this Spanish flu era, whatever. Anyway, so one of those book of the month books, or maybe I'll be like, forget those and grab one of the others from my shelf or down here. They're everywhere. Anyway, so that's kind of my May TBR loosely. Let's see what we get to, and my April wrap up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm just trying to chill today. I do have things to do, but you know, I'm just trying to relax. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I guess you guys see these on Friday, so hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you again next week right here on Nat's Beautiful Life. Have a great day, gorgeous.